Hello everybody, we are doing another video in the series on COVID-19 lockdown. This is the Kata series, number 5, if I got my numbers right. This video, number 5, Kata, is going to be about something in particular, which is Bachi Twirling. Okay, so first I'm going to talk about just 2 twirls. One twirl we describe as the out twirl, the other twirl we describe as the backhand twirl. Okay, and I'll talk about how we look at those two and the motion and the twirl that's involved. And then after we go through that and talk a little bit about how to do them, what makes them easier, how to do them nicely, smoothly. I'll do just a couple of things, beta, uchi, namae, just to give you an idea of how to twirl in the context of playing, because while standing around waiting for your gig to start and twirling your bachi might be impressive, it's even more impressive if you can actually hit the taiko, right, and do some twirls. So let's talk about the outward twirl. The outward twirl came up in class one day when we were talking about teaching this. Somebody mentioned, well, it reminds me of throwing a frisbee, right? So, and you know, that hand motion and the arm motion, I thought, you know, that's actually really a good description. So the outward twirl, think about throwing a frisbee, except you're gonna throw your bachi, okay? The backhand twirl, I call it the backhand twirl because to me the backhand twirl sets you up to hit a backhand, or you've just hit a backhand and you're about to repeat another beat, right, as you bring your hand back. Okay, so what are the things that will make this easier? One is avoid the gorilla grip, crushing the bachi, fisting tightly when you're gripping your bachi. In fact, you have to practically let go of the bachi to do either one of these twirls. So on the outward twirl, the frisbee flip, right, throwing your hand with the bachi out, let the tip of the bachi come around and rotate out as you finish the motion, right? When we teach this, one thing that we've determined makes it a little easier to execute. You can do it with your knuckle up. You know, it's not impossible to do that twirl with your knuckle sort of facing up, right? But if you turn your wrist over, rotate your wrist around so that your fingers are up and execute that twirl, I think you're going to find it's easier to do it effectively, right? So fingers up, right? Start your twirl, right? Back here, rotate around, start your twirl back here, rotate around as you're moving out. So therefore the outward twirl. The backhand twirl, right? Bringing your hand back, and gotta let go with your fingers. Let it stay between your index finger and your thumb, roll over your forearm and come back. Right? So that's the backhand twirl, right? And again, if you're playing and hitting a backhand, which we'll get into in a moment, you'll see how that's a natural motion. Okay, so I'm going to apply these first to beta uchi, then to namae. So let's go over to, and again, you don't have to have a taiko. The point of these videos is you're stuck at home, you got to find some way of practicing, and you may not have a taiko. So I got this pad here, right, and I'm going to use that for my faux taiko playing, right? So the outward flip, of course, if you're moving diagonally, right, you can do those 2 motions, right? It works diagonally. But if you're playing beta normal kata straight up and down, right, the outward flip really becomes bringing the tip of the bachi back towards you and flipping this way. So that's my modification of the outward flip. right? Tip comes back, you rotate around, right? Hit, right? Okay, so if you were just doing a don-con rhythm, right, you can alternate your twirl as you're reaching up. Normal kata for beta playing, beta uchi playing. Right? So that to me is how you modify the outward flip. Now remember, outward twirl. So remember, if you're moving diagonally, it's more the normal motion. If you're playing up and down, bring the tip towards you, right? Okay, the backhand, opposite rotation, becomes this kind of flip, right? Kind of letting loose again, right? Let the bachi come down, right? So this kind of a rotation, up, right? Opposite direction of turn, right? For the back, what's modified backhand, right? So this kind of a thing. So if you were doing a don and a con beat, your twirl would look this way. Again, it's not exactly a backhand because we're playing this straight up and down kata, right? If I were reaching out diagonally, right, and were twirling backwards over my backhand, that's the way you normally do it. So those are the two twirls played beta. I would say try just doing don-con rhythms, right? You could try going out diagonally, right? See if you can get that twirl, right? Bring your hand back in, right? Alternate motion, right? Try different things, experiment. This gives you something to practice, right? So that's the idea. Don't need a taiko, just working on your twirls. Try to do some rhythms, incorporate the twirl. Okay, now going over to namae playing. You can see that the backhand now obviously fits because of the kata playing in this position. You're playing a backhand. So that twirl over the forearm is more natural, right? Makes more sense, right? And the outward twirl also makes sense as you're bringing your right hand back, right? So you could just do, again, don-cons, right? Alternating backhand to out, right? You could try double hit, right? Do the same rotation with both hands. Okay? As always, when people are practicing any sort of kata, any sort of exercise, I always say try to see if you can turn your kata around, right? Kagami, mirror, right? See if you can execute that same motion, right, from the other direction. Normally, naturally right-handed, so normally playing the other way, but should practice this as well. So even if you're just doing a look at don beat, con beat, right? Right, good practice. Kagami, right? Backhand twirl, out flip, outward twirl, right? Frisbee twirl, backhand twirl. Okay, so experiment again, both sides, both hands, flipping your kata, flipping your sticking, and have fun with it. So again, no need to have a taiko. These are all things that you want to practice just for movement. And we're all hoping to get out of the lockdown someday in the future, and you got these twirls, put them into your playing, jazz things up, make things look more exciting, more lively, right? More flashy in your soloing. Have fun with it, and hopefully we'll see you on the other side. Be doing another video on some more kata coming soon.